Your life isn't hard because you lack talent. It's hard because your brain is addicted to comfort. If that stings, good, because most people spend their entire lives blaming motivation, luck, or discipline, when the real enemy is the tiny habits they repeat every day without thinking. And here's what most people don't realize. Japan didn't build one of the most disciplined, focused, and mentally resilient cultures by accident. They didn't rely on motivation, they didn't chase massive goals, they mastered small psychological habits that quietly rewire the brain. And once you see them, you'll realize why most people stay stuck, and why some cultures quietly move ahead. Psychologists call this behavioral conditioning, and once you understand it, you'll see why you act the way you do. Your habits don't just shape your day, they shape your identity, your confidence, and even how others treat you. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Western culture teaches you to wait for motivation. Japanese culture teaches you to remove resistance. One makes you feel busy, the other makes you effective. Your productivity, your health, even your self-respect. All of it is influenced by tiny behaviors you think don't matter. But they do, and Japan proves it. But here's where it gets even worse. Most people hear about good habits and immediately try to change everything at once. And that's the biggest mistake. Because your brain doesn't resist change, it resists discomfort. Japan understands this at a psychological level most people never reach. Your brain will always choose the easiest behavior, even if it ruins your future. Psychology shows that humans don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because their environment makes bad behavior effortless. Japan designs habits so good behavior becomes automatic. No motivation needed, no willpower required. And once you see how small these habits are, you'll realize how much effort you've been wasting. But here's the part nobody wants to admit. These habits feel boring. They feel too small. And that's exactly why they work. Because your ego wants dramatic change, but your brain only obeys repetition. Habit first, Kaizen, 1% better. This happens because your brain fears big change. Kaizen means improving by 1% daily. Your mind thinks this is nothing, but the reality is consistency rewires neural pathways. Japan doesn't chase breakthroughs, they build momentum. Habit second, clean as you go. Your brain does this to protect you from chaos. Mess increases cognitive load. Clutter drains mental energy. Japan removes clutter immediately. Not emotionally, but mechanically. Clean space, calm mind. Habit third, be early. Your brain thinks being late is harmless. Reality, it creates constant low-grade stress. In Japan, time respect equals self-respect. Being early isn't politeness, it's psychological control. Habit fourth, eat 80% full. Your brain confuses pleasure with survival. Hara-hachi-bu cuts that illusion. Stopping at 80% trains impulse control, one of the strongest predictors of long-term success. Habit fifth, comfortable silence. Your brain fills silence to avoid self-awareness. Japan allows silence that builds emotional intelligence, patience, and focus. Silence forces you to face your thoughts. Habit sixth, remove shoes indoors. This happens because your brain needs transitions. Shoes off equal to stress off. It's a physical cue that tells the nervous system, you're safe now. Habit seventh, joy in small things. Your brain constantly wants more. Japan practices wabi-sabi, appreciating simplicity. This trains contentment, not craving. Less desire, less anxiety. Habit eighth, think of others first. Your brain defaults to self-preservation. Japan counters this with social awareness. When everyone considers others, conflict drops and trust rises. That's psychological safety at scale. If that hits you good, it means you needed it. Because the truth you've been avoiding is this: your life won't change when you feel ready. It changes when your habits force it to. If you want to break this cycle, start with one tiny habit. Not motivation, not goals, not inspiration. One behavior that removes friction from your life. Here's the mental trick that actually works. Make good habits easier than bad ones. That's the Japanese secret. And once your environment changes, your brain has no choice but to follow.